One of the most frustrating parts of this struggle is how predictable it can become, and that's the struggle with pornography and ADHD. You decide that you're done with pornography and you can go for a stretch without slipping, and then out of nowhere, you end up relapsing. And it feels like starting over every single time, right? But when you look at it through the lens of something like ADHD and what we call hypersexuality, your patterns begin to make sense. See, ADHD affects what we call executive function, your brain's ability to plan, to regulate impulses rather, and to follow through on long-term goals. This is from your prefrontal cortex. That makes consistency harder, especially when you're dealing with behaviors that provide immediate reward. At the same time, when you keep repeating yourself to high stimuli sexual content like pornography, it trains your brain to expect dopamine spikes on demand. So it spoils your brain basically. So now you have these two forces that are working together: a brain that struggles with impulse control and a behavior that has been reinforced thousands or tens of thousands of times. I know I watch tens of thousands of times, okay? And that combination makes relapse not just possible, but almost inevitable, right? If nothing changes underneath that. Well, let's also talk about the emotional trigger component, right? Many men notice that their urges actually spike during very specific states: boredom, loneliness, stress, and even after you achieve something meaningful, right? You win at something, you come back and you're like, I deserve porn, right? And that's because your brain has linked all these emotional states with a very specific response. And it's not random, it's actually learned behavior. And learned behavior, of course, can be unlearned, but only if you address it directly. So most people try to quit by avoiding triggers or by distracting themselves, and that might work temporarily, but it doesn't break the association. Eventually, the urge comes back even stronger. And Porn Reboot focuses on rewiring that association entirely. So instead of reacting to urges, you learn how to observe and to redirect them. So you build awareness of your patterns so you can intervene earlier before the behavior actually takes over. And over time, the intensity of those urges actually decreases because the brain stops seeing those urges as something that is necessary. That's when real change starts to happen. Not when you're fighting yourself, but when you are no longer stuck in the same loop. And if you'd like to learn the system for doing this, I'd love to invite you to our workshop where we talk about this. We show you how to create this system so you're no longer using willpower. It is a system designed for individuals struggling with ADHD and a problem with pornography. Click on the link below, and I'll see you on the other side.